Hey friends, so I have said many times that these messages are not about me, nor are they reflective of anything going on in my personal life 99.9% of the time. However, this is one I can definitely relate to because I have been a super independent person for pretty much my whole adult life. And I never asked myself why until the last several years. I assumed I already knew the answer. It's how I was raised. Despite being a conservative old Cuban, my dad always stressed to me the importance of standing on my own 2 feet, having my own resources, and never relying on anyone for anything. He also taught me not to let the fact that I was a female stop me from doing whatever I wanted to do. He told me these things starting from when I was a small child, and anybody who knows me well knows that those lessons were not lost on me. Anyway, as an adult, moving through the world, I went through a lot of disappointments along the way, just like we all do. Some small annoyances, some major betrayals. Every time I suffered a major betrayal, it became almost like a reaffirmation for me that you really can't count on anyone. So even when I found myself in a pickle, so to speak, I didn't try to ask for help ever with anything. Whatever it was, I just handled it. And honestly, I thought that was just fine. The thing is that it really isn't. There's nothing wrong with independence. Everyone should have it because, well, it's fundamental to your growth as a person. It's a crucial step in you taking control of your life and doing whatever it is you want to do without having to rely on others. But there's a difference between this, a healthy ability to take care of your own business, and hyper-independence. You often end up in this mindset of hyper-independence when your ability to trust is eroded time and time again by people who have disappointed you, let you down, or flat out deceived you and done you dirty. The sad part is that the worst of this, the biggest hurts you get from a letdown, usually come from people who you would have never guessed would do that to you. When you think you know someone and you trust them and they do this, oof. And worse still are the people who go the extra mile, the people who know the things that you have been through in the past already, the ones who you have been vulnerable with and honest with about how much something really wrecked you. And then they turn around and do the same exact thing to you or worse. That's a whole other level of betrayal. Now, honestly, is it weird of you to start distrusting everyone this way after you have been screwed over? Not really. It's understandable. But here is where I came to realize why this mindset is really not healthy. When you stay in this place, hanging on to these events so long that they begin to get in the way of having happy, healthy relationships with other people, that's where you run into a problem, a big one. That mistrust of others makes it hard to have authentic emotional connections with another person. Hell, it makes it difficult to even have a friendship sometimes. I mean, who the hell wants to be friends with someone who makes it clear that they don't trust you, even though you haven't done anything to warrant that feeling? That mistrust also unfairly punishes people who had nothing to do with your pain. You are handing them the bill for the sins of another, so to speak, and sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. Now, look, that I don't need anybody and I must do everything myself mentality doesn't necessarily mean that those people enjoy being that way. I mean, I sure didn't, and it's been a work in progress to change that for a while now. But I came to a point where I realized I needed to let that lax a little because it was actually hindering my personal growth. And it was causing a bigger burden on my shoulders than I really needed to bear all by myself. Things got a lot less heavy when you have somebody to help you lift them, friends. Asking for help isn't a weakness, even though we are conditioned to think it is. That's a topic for a different video that will be coming soon. But anyway, the fact is that people are not designed to be alone and do everything for ourselves. No person is an island. All of us need other people to have a happy, healthy life. We need each other because we are so much better when we team up, to put it plainly. Having someone else who you can rely on does not take away anything from your personal independence, even though many people develop this trauma response and it tells them that it does. And as a result, they push away genuine connections with other people. They are unable to communicate needs or even admit that they exist. To put it simply, this is not good for you, or your relationships with others, or for your growth. The point here is that just because you are capable of doing everything yourself does not mean that you have to. And you can't let trauma take perfectly normal human emotions like vulnerability and connections away from you, because hasn't it already taken enough? If you're struggling with this very thing, to trust after a big betrayal, or maybe a couple of them, let me tell you something that I learned from personal experience. You are not doing yourself any favors by hanging on to this mindset. You may have misplaced your trust in someone who wasn't worthy of it, but that doesn't mean that all people are terrible and can't be trusted. Some are actually pretty fantastic and genuinely care about you. You will know who they are because their words will match their actions. They have earned your trust, and they should get it. Don't shortchange yourself from having a genuine connection with those people because of wrongs that others have done. That's all I've got for you this week. I'll be back next week with another priority message. Until then, take good care of yourselves. Bye.